Pokémon Horizons absolutely stunned the entire world when it revealed that we'd be getting a 1-year time skip in the middle of the series. That's something that has never ever happened in the Pokémon anime before. I mean, Ashy Boy being 10 years old forever is living proof of that, dude. And the majority of this announcement sparked nothing but happiness and celebration in the community. Except for one key thing. Something else was revealed tied into the time skip, and the reception to that was definitely not quite as warm. We found out that out of nowhere, with no build-up, Roy now suddenly has a shiny Mega Lucario on his team. And although some fans are fine with it, I have seen a lot of backlash and anger from other fans. Roy randomly having a shiny Mega Lucario has caused a lot of anger in the community. But is it actually as horrendous as a lot of fans would have you believe? Is it truly the anime's biggest crime since Ash lost to Cameron in the Unova League? Well, in this video we're going to break down the huge anger caused by Roy's shiny Mega Lucario, and then we're going to delve into a crazy theory that no one else has discussed. A theory that could change everything. So after you've hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button, let's get right into it. And we'll start with the elephant in the room. The sheer fan service of Roy having a shiny Mega Lucario. Before the time skip, Roy didn't have a Riolu or a Lucario, and there was no foreshadowing for this capture. No wild Riolu following Roy around, no hints that he would get one, and then we come back after a 1-year time skip and suddenly Roy has a Lucario that can Mega Evolve too? Mega Lucario is the most overused Mega Evolution in the entire series. Every Mega Evolution story arc that we've ever gotten in the anime has been about a Mega Lucario. This is especially annoying to fans because there's so many amazing Mega Pokemon out there who haven't got any spotlight in the anime. Ones that would have been so fun to explore. But nope, as always, it's Mega Lucario. And not only is it a Mega Lucario, it's also a shiny Mega Lucario. Can you believe it? So yeah, that takes the fan service complaints to a whole new level, dude. It checks off literally every box ever of overhyped stuff in the community. Super popular Pokemon? Check. Mega Evolution? Check. Shiny Pokemon? Another check. And yeah, they're all stacked together in a way that kind of just feels excessive, you know? A lot of fans feel like the writers just thought, hey, how do we get more people to watch our show? Oh, I know, let's add a Lucario. And make it Mega Evolve too. Oh, and make it shiny. That'll grab people's attention. So this really has everybody wondering whether it's all just for the cool factor, just for publicity, rather than it being for genuine story reasons, you know? And to make matters worse, this entire development happened off screen, which kind of goes against the way the Pokemon anime has always traditionally handled its characters in Pokemon. If we had actually seen Roy meet a Riolu, bond with it, train it, and help it evolve into a Lucario, then mastering Mega Evolution, then maybe Roy having this Pokemon wouldn't be quite as jarring. It would have felt earned and justified, you know? Because the Pokemon anime has always focused on that. That's how they've always gotten us emotionally invested in the Pokemon and their bond with the trainer. That was the main theme of Ash's entire anime. From Ash's Charizard, to Infernape, to Greninja, to even Lucario. Seeing their story arcs on screen, seeing them slowly develop into being the powerhouses they are, seeing their bonds with Ash, that's what made him so special and so beloved by fans. But with Roy's Lucario, we don't get to see any of that, dude. He just caught it off screen, bonded with it off screen, Mega Evolved it off screen. It kinda makes Lucario feel unearned, you know? Like a forced power-up rather than a part of the story that we're invested in. And that does kind of go against what's been at the core of the Pokemon anime for 25 years. So it's totally understandable why some fans are disappointed or even angry at this. It's taken away a special part of the show. Another criticism I've seen of this entire thing is that a lot of people agree that Mega Lucario, if it had to go to any of the characters, would have been way more fitting as Liko,'s Pokemon. Lucario's entire concept revolves around aura, the magical spiritual energy that it can sense and control. This is what makes Lucario so special. And aura is directly tied to understanding and reading the emotions and feelings of people and Pokemon. And it just so happens that that's Liko,'s entire main goal in the anime. Liko's dream is to understand and connect with Pokemon's emotions and feelings. That was established early on in the show. So Lucario's aura ability would have fit into Liko's story arc perfectly if Liko caught one. Liko could have had a Pokemon that naturally complements her journey and goals, a Pokemon who could teach her and guide her greatly in that manner. And not to mention, even visually Lucario fits Liko's colour scheme amazingly. The black and blue design would look so good standing beside Liko. So all of this has really made a lot of fans angry that Roy got Lucario instead of Liko, because it could have been more interesting for her character to catch it instead. But despite all of the criticisms I've talked about for this whole video, which I do understand and respect, I'm actually feeling pretty optimistic about everything, dude. A lot of fans are really angry, but I'm not part of them. I think it could end up being really good. After all, we all know the Pokemon Horizons writers are really great at what they do. They've proven time and time again that they put huge amounts of thought and passion into their storytelling and characters. Those elements have been the exact reason why Horizons has been such a huge success with fans. So while Roy's shiny Mega Lucario does feel sudden now, we have no idea what kind of backstory they might give it. We could get flashback scenes or even whole flashback episodes, showing how Roy met Lucario, how they bonded, how they trained, how it eventually evolved. There could be an amazing reason behind Roy getting Lucario that we just don't know about yet, something that could blow our minds. And hey, maybe the writers are self-aware that Mega Lucario's storylines are overdone. Maybe they know that fans wouldn't want to watch a whole nother story arc about Roy catching a Riolu and bonding with it and evolving it. After all, that was the main storyline of Pokemon Journeys just a few years ago. So maybe they decided that by totally switching up the formula and skipping to the end point, the point where Roy already has a Mega Lucario, and then instead telling that story through flashbacks of the most exciting, unique moments, then maybe that could make Roy's Lucario feel totally distinct and different from Ash's one. That could be a fun way to do another Lucario storyline without rehashing the exact same stuff we've seen before. And I genuinely think it's a great idea, dude. We've all seen how Pokemon Horizons thrives when it switches up the formula from the previous animes. And this really could be another example of that. We've just got to wait and see. Also, in general, I think it's a great thing that Roy has such a unique, amazing, special Pokemon after the time skip, because that greatly emphasizes just how much Roy has changed since we last saw him. As we know, Roy is the only rising Volt tackler who continued his journey after Freed's alleged death. Everyone else backed away, with Liko going back to school, Doc going back home, so with Roy being the only one continuing to push himself forwards, the writers probably needed big ways to show how far Roy has come, and giving him such a shocking, insanely powerful Pokemon, that really does show just how
In a crowded room, my eyes met yours, and in that moment, I knew for sure that fate had brought us together in this whirlwind of forever. Love at first sight, it's a fated meeting. Our hearts beating as one, our souls intertwining, the stars aligning, the universe conspiring for us to find each other in this love inspiring. Your smile lit up the room like a beacon of light, guiding me towards you through the darkest night. I couldn't resist the pull of your magnetic gaze, and now I'm lost in your love in a beautiful day. Love at first sight, it's a fated meeting. Our hearts beating as one, our souls intertwining, the stars aligning, the universe conspiring for us to find each other in this love inspiring. In a world full of chaos and uncertainty, you are my constant, my rock, my serenity. I thank the heavens above for this fated meeting, for in your arms I found my true meaning. Love at first sight, it's a fated meeting. Our hearts beating as one, our souls intertwining, the stars aligning, the universe conspiring for us to find each other in this love inspiring. love so grand. Our fated meeting, a love so true. Forever and always I'll be with you, you. So here we stand, hand in hand, bound by destiny in a love so grand. Our fated meeting, a love so true. Forever and always I'll be with you.
Much he's grown and developed throughout the year time skip, and it contrasts Liko and Dot in such a cool way. The final thing I want to talk about in this video is something that I haven't seen anyone else discussing, something that happened a long time ago in the anime which most people brushed over and forgot about, but of course I remembered, and I think there's a small chance that it could play a huge role in Roy's storyline with his shiny Mega Lucario. Hear me out, okay, cause this theory is kinda bonkers, but when do I not drop the silliest theories ever? 30 episodes ago, Roy had his big rematch battle against the gym leader Rhyme, and towards the climax of that battle, when Roy and Fuecoco truly synchronized with each other and hit their maximum passion and energy, singing their brand new song in unison, something totally insane and utterly unknown happened. Roy's entire body suddenly began glowing with a mysterious red aura, and then his Fuecoco did too. This was not related to any fire-type moves. Fuecoco wasn't even using a move when it happened. It wasn't Fuecoco's blaze ability either. This was a totally new, unknown phenomenon that we had never seen before. Roy and Fuecoco just randomly began glowing with a red aura when they truly synchronized and hit the peak of their battling. A lot of fans, understandably, wrote this off entirely, saying it was probably just a visual way to show that Roy and Fuecoco were really fired up. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wrote it off myself in that way too, but I did have it in the back of my mind still in case it ever became relevant in the future. But the more I think about it, we have never seen this happen ever before in the Pokemon anime, and Roy and Fuecoco have never done it again ever since, so the writers clearly chose to include this here for some unknown reason. It could be nothing, or it could be everything, because what if the red aura surrounding Roy was actually, well, aura? As in the mystical aura power that Lucario controls. The mystical aura power that some trainers very rarely can sense and manifest. I mean, looking at it visually, it does look very similar to the aura that Ash had with his Lucario, except obviously the colour is red instead of blue. It may not be exactly the same as the aura that we've seen in the past, but what if this could be Roy's version of aura? Maybe Roy is sensitive to this new type of aura. What if that was the first time that he felt it or managed to manifest it? If that ends up being the case, then Roy getting a Lucario might not be just some random silly fanservice-y thing. It could be setting up a huge new arc for Roy exploring this power that he could have. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Roy is going to become some unstoppable legendary aura wielder like Sir Aaron or Ashy Boy, but if he even has a slight connection to aura, then that's so exciting in my eyes. Aura has been such a huge part of Pokemon's lore for so long, but it's rarely been explored outside of Ash Ketchum. So if Horizons gives us like a new, unique take on it with Roy and his Lucario, then I think that'd be awesome, man. So overall, Roy suddenly having a shiny Mega Lucario has left a lot of fans really angry. But here's my final takeaway on the topic. I understand why people feel that way. I understand how this could be a bad thing for the show. There definitely could have been some more interesting or unique Mega Pokemon chosen for Roy instead, but I really don't think we should be judging this too harshly before we see how it all pans out. Pokemon Horizons has been consistently amazingly written so far. I really don't think these writers would drop the ball now after everything, just in the name of fan service. And hey, let's be real for a second. Roy's new Yellow Squad team looks so cool together matching Roy's new yellow jacket. I already love them, man. So let me know your thoughts on this controversial topic below. Do you think that Roy suddenly having a shiny Mega Lucario is a great choice or a terrible choice? Be sure to like and subscribe too if you enjoyed this video. That would really help me out a lot, dude. Check out the links in the description if you want to join a Discord server, or if you want to become a channel member. Not only does that help me out so much, but you also get some really awesome benefits too. Thank you to all of my current channel members like Dowpals, Toten, Shiny Charm, Justcadia, Jay, Blazing Shots, Not Mini. You guys are the best. And on that note, thank you all so much for watching, and best wishes until we meet again!